Hello everyone. Okay, so this time we are back with another another topic. So this time we are not covering any walkthrough. So this time we are understanding a concept. What is LFI? Okay, so we will go to basic LFI, filter chain generator, and then the filter one. Okay, so let's start with the basic LFI. Okay, for this for this I'm using For this, I'm using the prerequisite or basic LFI. Okay, we are gonna cover this. So the basic course material is GCTF. You can find it here. So this is the room which I have already started. Okay, let me add 1 hour to it. Okay, so it will become 142. Okay, so this is the room. This is a room we're gonna use, and then for it you can filter change editor. I will come to this mm, in the later section of this video. Okay, so let's start with LFI. LFI, what is LFI? LFI is called local file inclusion. Okay, and what is LFI? LFI stands for local file inclusion. Okay, it is a vulnerability that allows an attacker to include and read files from the local servers through a vulnerable parameter. So, for example, you have uh, you have a parameter which is accepting some ID and which is giving you some out, which is giving you some list of users or whatever. Okay, then you have to check, does LFI present here? Is LFI is there? So if LFI is there, then you can read data from there. You can write data from there. But of course, you can read and write if there is a read function or a write function there. Okay. So let's do it. Okay. Let's start it so that we can know. Okay. When exploiting the LFI, the file is accessed by a web server process. So it is not accessed by a user or it is not accessed by a root. It is accessed by a web process. And web process technically run as www data. You can see this when you get RCE by reverse shell. You can see the www data. Okay. So web server also use the process as www data. Okay, this means you can read files that a web server use. Okay, and you can read only those files which www data has access to. For example, if it has an access to read, then you will be able to read. If it has an access to write, then you will be able to write. But if you don't have access, okay, if www data does not has access, then you cannot read it. So when I'll refer to www data, I will say as data. Okay, I can say data user. Okay, so there are some conditions required for LFI. The application must use a parameter to load or include a file. Okay, the application should have a parameter. Okay, we'll explain this a little bit later. Okay, the parameter must not properly sanitize or validate. Okay, the parameter should not be sanitized. Okay, and the web service have must have the permission to read the target file. Okay, let's attempt. Okay, so I'm using cheese and I'll just open cheese and here LFI is present, so that's why I'm using this. Okay, so here I'll just okay. Okay, so file is super secret admin. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll first try to check is LFI is present in this or not. Okay, as you can see, I got the etc password content. So this means that yeah, LFI is present in this form file. Okay, next, next you have to check that what is the code of this so that we can understand that can we read, can we write. So let's try to check what is the content of that file. Okay, so we will do this. We will use a PHP filter. I'll tell you just in a little bit that what is PHP filter. Okay, oh, I think I have question mark. So this is a file parameter. Okay, so we are filtering it. We are saying it that go to this file, get my content. Before getting content, please try to encode it. Okay, to base 64. Okay, and then show us the super secret.php. Why are we doing it? Because if we don't do this, then when it comes here, instead of just printing it out, it could like execute that code. But we don't want the execution, right? We want it to like read it so that we can read it from here. Okay, so that's why we use the encoding. So this is a filter, okay, which encodes the your code which it is getting. Okay, let's try and hit that. Okay, as you can see that we have got this. Okay, now let me see. Okay, 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 so we have this base 64. Now this base 64 is encoded. So what I'll do, I'll just record it. Okay, I'll paste it here and I'll decode it. Okay, so this is the code which I'm gonna show you here. Okay, okay, so what we can see, we can use PHP filter wrapper to encode the file in base64. We cannot retrieve the raw PHP source directly because it would execute on the server instead of being displayed. After retrieving the base, we can decode it. Okay, base64 encoded content. We can decode it locally to view the actual source code safely. Okay, so that's what we did. Okay, as you can see, it is doing echo hello world, which is commented, and it is so this file is the parameter which we used here. Okay, it says that get the content of this parameter. So the content would be this thing. Okay, this content would be this, and it include file. So here you can see this is the dangerous thing. It is just including it file. So in PHP, include means execute. Okay, so it is not sanitizing anything, it is not doing anything, it is just saying that please get the content of file parameter and just execute it. Okay, so it will just execute it. There is no sanitization. So all these checks which we described above, the parameter must use a parameter to load or include a file, then this one is verified. The parameter must not properly sanitize, this one is also verified, and this one we will verify it later when we ask for. I mean, we did retrieve the file, so that mean www data had the access to read the file. Okay, has the access to read the file. Okay, so so this tells, which I have told you before, the script checks for the parameter using is set get file. There is no input validation, and the function include. Okay, so this was the basic LFI, like how to what are local file inclusion. As you can see from the name, local file inclusion means you can include a file locally which are on that server. So one is RFI, which means remote file inclusion. Okay, which is something else which when I'll make notes of this, then I'll explain you what is RFI, red file inclusion. So this was a basic LFI. Okay, so now basic LFI is done here. So there is nothing more with this. So what we will do is we will go to the next one, which is filter chain generator. So what is filter chain generator? Let's see this. Okay, so for this, the prerequisites are basic LFI, post material is GCTF, and the file generator GitHub repo. Okay, before continuing, you make sure you understand LFI. Okay, so purpose of filter chain generator. The filter chain generator is used to encode a PHP script so that it does not execute immediately when sent to target machine. Okay, so this does the same thing as basic LFI. Okay, so this is a it is a just a wrapper. Okay, which does the things of the basic LFI thing internally. Okay, so for this you have to make sure LFI is working on target machine, which we did, and it is working. Okay. So this uses PHP filter change generator.py. You can find filter change generator generator. If you go here, you can clone this one. Okay, you go here and you'll copy this and you'll paste git clone and it would be cloned. So I think I have already cloned it. Let me see. Uh, let me see. Cd try hack me room gctf ls. Uh, yeah, I have already did it. I remember. I'll show you how I did it. I did that. Okay. So it use the file in dot chain. Dot chain means whatever come after me. Okay. Like whatever come after me. Okay. Whatever come after me, encode it. Okay. So we don't have to write in base 64 encode or something like this. So it will what comes after change, it will encode it and we want to save it to payload.txt. So let's try to run it. Let's see what happens. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's do this. And first, grab my let me grab my ifconfig, and my ifconfig is this. And let me just do this. And I have to check where is my PHP filter change generator. Okay, so I think it is. Oh, sorry. I think it is. Yeah, important GitHub pages, filter change generator, filter change.py. Okay, I have it here. Okay, so it is saying that use this generator.py file. Then this is the PHP. Okay, this is the PHP. So get this PHP. Okay, and grep PHP and start from where and only start from where there is PHP written. So it will take this portion of PHP. Okay, and it is a reverse shell generator. It is a one liner. Okay, you can get it from ref shells. Okay, and this is just opening a shell. Okay, opening opening a listener. Okay, at 444, so it will give us the access of this attacker machine. Okay, and it just saved everything on payload.txt. Okay, now let's try to do this. Okay, ls, as you can see that we have the payload.txt. Okay, so see, so what is this payload.txt? Okay, as you can see, it has a filter. Okay, it has a filter. So what is a filter? Okay, so filter is just a wrapper. Okay, which is used to, like, if we don't send the filter, if we just send the code, so it will execute it before it, like, if it does anything. Okay, or sometimes it will not execute it, it will just corrupt it. Okay, so that's why we have to, like, we want it to safely go there, so we will just use filter to, like, convert into icon.v.utf.a.base64, then convert into. So these are set of rules. Okay, so when it goes on the machine, it will try to decoding this. Okay, so it will decode this unless you have a simple PHP like this. Okay, so yeah, so it uses PHP generator script that can tell the tool to encode everything that comes after it. The PHP code provides a one-liner reverse shell that open a connection back to the attacker. Okay, grab PHP, filter the output, and keeps only the line that start with PHP. Okay, so it will keep the PHP line. Finally, the clean encoded payload is saved to payload.txt. Okay, so we have saved this payload.txt. Now this contains our reverse shell, because somewhere between the lines it contains our reverse shell. Now how do we send it here? Okay, we will use call command -s. Okay, we will just send our payload.txt. We will do cat and just send this payload to the system. Okay, let me do it. Let me do this. and we will just, I will go there, I will copy this and I will paste this here. Okay, so it is saying that go there to script.php file and just put this is in include file. Okay, in the include parameter. So when it what happens that when I, let me show you in the basic LFI. Yeah, so that LF, it will come here, it will decode it. Okay, it will decode it and it will go there, then my PHP reverse shell will go there and this will execute that, mm, that reverse shell. Okay, so for this you have to first open nc dot a reverse shell. You have to open reverse shell and you just have to like do this. Okay, okay, just wait. Call myself payload get dot payload dot text. I think my 177.137. Okay, okay, it's 146.110. Let me check. Okay, so this was my old payload.txt. So what I'll do, I'll remove my payload.txt and then I'll just run it again. Okay, 146.110.444. Everything seems perfect. Secret super 12. Okay, okay. So for this, I think this machine is has been turned off from a very long time. Okay, so I will just start the machine over again. So let's wait for it. So it would take 1 minute and to, we will wait for it so that it's available. It will mainly take 5 to 7 minutes. So let me check if it is accessible. Okay, uh, it will take some time. Let's give it 5 minutes. It will be accessible. Let me see if my VPN is working correctly. Okay, verify user. Okay, I'll just restart my VPN. Okay, okay, it is working now. As you can go here, my internet is slow today. Let's log in. Okay, let me just test it. 1 2 3 4 and etc password. Okay, so it is working now. So let me remove my payload.txt again. So you don't have to, but I'm doing it. Okay, and here we have to filter change director php 192.168.payload.txt. Okay, all I have to do is just change the URL here. What's the URL? Okay, start it and -s http 10.112.6.php file create payload.txt. Okay, okay. So for now, it is not picking my reverse shell. I don't know what's wrong with it now. Okay, okay. So maybe I can do double quotes, but I don't think that would do anything. Okay, and let's see. Just let me try with double quotes. Okay, yeah. So it was the issue. Okay, as you can see that it went. Okay, as you can see that we sent our this payload. Okay, so when it came here, like let me show you. Let me do cat and where is mm, super secret admin? Where is yeah secret script.php. Okay, as you can see here, when or this like the encoded thing came here, it came here and it tried it came here and it went to this include file. Okay, so what included, it tried to refill, I mean it tried to decode it again and again and again and again, and when it got the final php script, like this one, when it came to this point, then it executed here and we got a reverse shell. Okay, so this was the filter chain generator. So how is it different from basic LFI is that we don't have to like write all these generations. Okay, like we don't have to like write each and everything. It will just do everything on its own. Okay, so this was the filter chain generator. Okay, so let's move on to the third one, which is a filter. So the prerequisites are basic LFI, and so now I have to remove this because filter generator has no work in here. Okay, so PHP filter. Okay, let's do this. Let me move it here. Okay, as you can see, is we were using file. Okay, but we for this uh, tutorial we are going to learn filter one. Okay, so what's filter? Okay, so PHP, it allows you to apply filter before PHP reads or writes a file. Okay, so filter is allowed to write the filter which you want to write it. Okay, before PHP done do it thing. Okay, in short, you are telling PHP before processing this file, modify its content. Okay, let's look at the scenario. Okay, okay, we are not reading the file. Okay, I think okay, okay, okay. So what happened here? Okay, what happened here? It is it is saying that PHP apply filter. Oh, I think yeah, it is saying that apply filter, convert it file into base 64 first, and then add a resource. I mean, and then do it and then send it to this file. So it will encode it first. It will go to this script, then it will execute there. Okay, so that's what filter is. You have to apply a filter. Okay, so now it has two modes. One is read and one is write. So we are going to see the read one. Okay, so read tells PHP to apply filter while file is being read. Okay, it only if only one filter is used, PHP assumes read mode automatically. So here you can see that we haven't specified the mode. So there was only one filter, so PHP assumes that this is a read filter. Okay, so for example, you can write it. You can write. Okay, if you wanted to write instead of reading, but by default PHP, if you give only one filter, PHP thinks that it is a read mode. Okay. When chaining multiple filters, read must be specific, explicitly defined. Okay. So for example, you have more than one filter, then you can use more than, I mean, you can define more than one filters. Okay. Let's try to do this. Let's try to, let me use read for the simple one. Okay, I will type read. Okay, it is saying that use read and convert it to base 64 first. Okay, because read will give you read. Okay, so it was read before. Okay, we don't have to specify as long as you have one. Okay, okay, so you, what you can see, what you can do is, let me, instead of like encoding it, I will do, okay, I'll tell it to rotate it. Okay, rotate it by 13 characters. Okay, and then you will see that, see, it did not came. Why it did not came? Because we didn't encoded it. We just changed the code. Okay, uh, we just changed the code, and it might be possible that PHP executed it. Okay, so you have to add another one. Okay, I think it is convert dot base 64 dot encode, and to, you will write this pipe sign, so that this is one filter and this is another filter. Okay, okay, string dot row 13. Let me see if I'm writing it correctly. Read equal to convert dot big 64. Oh, okay, it is not dot, but it is this one. Okay, as you can see, it has rotated it. Okay, as you can see that it is CQ9. Okay, what if we add another filter? Okay, and we said it rotate 13 again. Okay, so it would be something else. Okay, see, it is PD9. Okay, so we encoded it, we rotated the string. So originally it was like this. We rotated it and then we rotated it back. Okay, as you can see, it would be PD9. So if I remove one filter, okay, you will see the PD9. Okay, okay. Sorry. If you remove both filters, you will see PD9, because, yeah, see. So that's how you can like add more than one filter. Okay, you can add as many as you want. So for the filters, like what filters are there, so I will make notes, and I'll come back with other filters as well. So for this, you know what read does, it encodes before reading any stuff. Okay, so for read, you have to have, wait, let me see. Okay, you have to have a file. Okay, which is executing something, which is executing some PHP. Okay, you have to have a file. Okay, so basically it is just reading the script. Okay, so this PHP filter dot read base resource dot secret PHP. Okay, it comes here, it pastes it there, and then it decodes it. Okay, it decodes it and it gives you your answer. Okay, what's next? Okay, so this, so filter plus read. Okay, so filter plus read is, read tell PHP to apply filter when it is being read. uh, okay, so I'm sorry, read is done, so I'm doing it again. A filter plus write. So write applies filter when data is being written to a file. So when you are writing any data to a file, you have to encode it first. Why do you encode it? Because during the sending of data, okay, so your data could be corrupted, it could limit special characters and that. Okay, it modifies the data before it is saved. Okay, it modifies it. Okay, this only works if the application uses file writing functions, such as file put content or file write. So as you can see here, it reads the file. Okay, it reads the file and it just executes it. Okay, so it does not have any function which can like upload a file. Okay, so on this gctf the writing won't work because it does not have a function which writes the data. Okay, so this only works if the user access for okay this in a normal LFI using include, write does not work because include only read files. Include only read files, so it will not work here. So you for this you can just write this filter PHP convert base. You will decode it, and yes, it will what it will do it. It will convert to base 64, and it will just write it. Okay, to this shell.php. Okay. For this to work, the application must use write user control data into the file. So it should have that function. Okay. So user should have access to write it. Okay. You must supply base 64 encoded content. For example, okay. As you can see that we are decoding it, we are sending it to shell PHP, but where is the data that we want to encode? So that data you will send it in a post body. Okay. When you are using this. Okay. The write filter will decode the data first and save the decoded result in shell.php. If there is no writing function in the application, the technique will not work. Okay. If it is saying that if there are no writing function like fwrite or file put contents, then this thing will won't work. Okay. So these were the two modes of PHP filter, which is read and which is write. So it does not have more than two methods. Yeah, there are multiple filters which we will cover in future, but for now it has only two modes, and this was the basic LFI. So we covered basic LFI, we covered filter chain generator, and we covered filter. So for these notes, I will in the comments I will give you a link to these notes. You can see these notes, and if you want to try to learn from them, you can learn it, and they are updated regularly. Okay. So for now, in this note, I have some CSS issue, like this YouTube button is it has to be here. So please forgive me for that. And yeah, so this was all about the filter. What is LFI? What is LFI? What is RFI? So we will cover RFI in the near future. But for now, that this is it, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.